चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So, am I audible? Is the audio clear or no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You are able to hear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. So, we began with the third chapter 2 days back, and let's recap because you have to understand the flow which is happening in the third chapter. Because the third chapter, I said, is a little difficult to understand what is the flow within the entire third chapter. So, who will tell me what is exactly Arjuna's question? And what are the levels which Arjuna is thinking Krishna has spoken? And actually, what Krishna has given the different levels and options. Who will answer this? Let's raise your hands. Last 2 days who have attended. Uh, who will tell what is Arjuna's question? Because it's very critical to understand what exactly is Arjuna's question, because the whole, I told you, the whole unfolding of the entire Bhagavad Gita is in the second chapter, and it will unfold in 3, 4, 5, 6, and then further. Oh, Kanchan Sharma Mataji, yes. What's your initiated name, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah, very clear.
Kartiki Devidas.
Yeah, please write your initiated name, na? Okay. Appreciate.
Like Arjuna, uh, directly he says that Jnana Yoga, if it is better, then why should I indulge in fighting?
Yeah. Now, you know, does he say Gyan Yoga, or what is the term he uses? What is the term?
Uh,
Please. Only for Navneet Kalra Mataji, audio is not clear, but others are saying that the audio is clear. Maybe you have to check your audio settings, Mataji. Maybe because of the network issue, but here it is quite clear. Yeah, Kartike Mataji.
Hare
Is
Krishna, like he doesn't want to fight.
No, no, no. Please understand my question.
Yes, Prabhuji.
What does Arjuna use the term? Does he say Gyan Yoga? And whether when the karma also says what kind of karma he specifies, in the verse. What does he say according to him? What is the term he uses?
Hmm.
You
I
can
have to
look
go
at the verse also
to
and
the
tell.
sloka.
Devotees can
Okay,
always
I'll go to
have
the
the Bhagavad
sloka.
Gita book with them in your hand when you're studying.
Yes, I have, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
I
you
have.
can look into the verse and tell. What does
Yes, yes.
Krishna use the term?
Like Ghora Karma, why are you asking me to do?
No, no, no. See, you have to answer my first question. For Jnana Yoga, what does the term he use?
Buddhi.
Ah, so there, Buddhi, when he refers to Buddhi,
Yes.
what is he thinking of the option? What can Buddhi mean?
Buddhi means, according to him, that no action is performed.
Oh.
Is it correct? Buddhi is not indulging in any action, but yeah, in meditation or something like that.
No, 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 no. You have to get clear the concepts, Mataji. We have been repeating it, hammering last 10 classes, You know, we have
Fruity
to.
work. Like,
No, fruitive work, Buddhi is fruitive work, Mataji. This is,
no, no,
you
no, 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 no. Like, engage in, okay, fine. Sorry.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You have to become familiar and, yeah, Vinuta Mataji. I'm just recapping to understand how much you are really following the subject. Yes, Vinuta
Prabhuji, I'll
Mataji.
try.
Hmm.
Renounced inactivity, no fighting.
Yeah,
Is it
for
Jnana
him,
Yoga?
jnana means, buddhi means jnana yoga. That means there is no activity because he's shanti. He's shanti. He's not engaged in any action of the senses, and is just meditation, Shanti. That is referring to Gyan Yoga, correct?
Yeah,
And
Jnana Yoga.
and the karma is what he is referring to?
Karma, fruitive activity,
Yeah, but what does the
fighting for heaven.
what does the term he uses in the verse? Ghora karma.
Or karma.
Ghora karma means this is sinful. So Arjuna sees only two options. Gyan, Shanti, no fighting, or this is Ghora karma. But Krishna
Vikarma.
has spoken about how many options? Tell us now in the second
4
chapter.
options.
Four options, are you sure?
Krishna is like 4
Okay, now,
levels.
okay, I'll come back. Now, 2.39. Esha te abhyata sanke buddhi yoge tumam shunu. So, buddhi yoga can refer to what? That buddhi yoga can mean what? Buddhi yoga is a stretchable term. It can refer to what?
Bhakti Yoga.
Bhakti yoga, or buddhi yoga can refer to what?
Nishkama Karma Yoga.
Yes, it can refer to Nishkam Karma Yoga. And what else it can refer to? Jnana Yoga also.
Jnana Yoga.
Jnana also. So Krishna has spoken about five options. Krishna
5.
has spoken about five options. He has spoken about, you
Gnana
know,
Yoga.
he has spoken about Bhakti Yoga directly. Krishna has spoken about directly Nirgun Bhakti, 2.40 to 45. After 2.39, directly 2.40 to 45, he says Nirgun Bhakti. Gyan, he has spoken in the form of 2.12 to 2.30. But that Gyan, when he reaches that Gyan, the Jivan or the Sthita Pragya stage, he has spoken in 53 verse, and the symptoms are mentioned in the remaining part of the chapter. Nishkam Karma Yoga, where has he spoken about Nishkam Karma Yoga? Vinuta Mataji.
Shlokas I have to. I can't
No, at
recall
least you tell
shlokas.
Karmanyevadikaraste.
Karma
That
Neva.
is, that is Nishkama Karma Yoga, 2.47. Karma
57,
Kanda,
yes.
where has he spoken about Karma Kanda?
Shlokas I
2.31 to
have.
37. And Vikarma he has directly not spoken, but if you don't do your Kshatriya duty, then Hitva Papam Avapsasi. 2.32 is there. So all this, you have to understand the flow. Otherwise, the Gita, what is happening within the Gita, the whole unfolding of the Gita will not be clear for us. Nishkam Karma Yoga 2.47 to 2.53. Gyan, in the form of Gyan, he has spoken the Sankhya, which is from 2.12 to 2.30. But he has spoken about that Sthita Pragya, 2.51, 52 and 53, plus the symptoms from 55 to 72. Shanti Mapnoti, especially one who is situated in Sthita Pragya. That is Gyan. So Krishna has spoken about five levels. And he says that Arjuna, you are not qualified for bhakti because why? Why does he say he's not qualified for bhakti? Nirguna bhakti? That what is Vishwanath Chakravarti's take on that? Why is not qualified for Nirguna bhakti? Yes, Sumit Kapoor Prabhuji. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji, because uh, in Gyan there is inactivity, and because Arjun is at that level where
No, are you understanding my question? I am asking question that Arjuna, you're now right now not qualified for Nirguna Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, which is beyond the three modes.
Hmm.
Why Krishna is saying that?
Because Arjuna is acting under the modes now.
I think we have to repeatedly study the Gita. Who had raised their hand? Who had raised the hand just now? Rupanuga Jivan Prabhu?
Krishna will not know.
Yes.
We will try to,
Yes.
is Kshatriya and has to follow Kshatriya Dharma.
Oh, Prabhuji, Nirgun Bhakti can be only attained by the mercy of the pure devotees. And Krishna blesses Arjuna that, I bless that you attain Nirgun Bhakti, but right now you're not qualified. Right now you're qualified for Karma Yoga. So we all forgot, I think, within few days, the whole discussion, you know. 2.47. Krishna is saying that, I'll have to, keep on revising, I think, and we need to hammer it. I told you that's why at least 10 years of sadhana is required to study and understand Bhagavad Gita. So here you see, the Lord wanted to speak about the process of Jnana, Bhakti and Karma Yoga to Arjuna, who is his dear friend. Process of Jnana is spoken in 2.12 to 30, Bhakti 40 to 45. Now he speaks of Nishkam Karma. You're qualified for work. But those who crave for the results are impure. But you are of almost heart, I can say of this, you know. So I bless you, he says. That is, he says in 2.40, that this Nirguna Bhakti is attained only by the mercy of pure devotees. Yes. Nirguna Bhakti here. Bhakti alone. Nistragunya Bhavarjana. So here he says that. So even in 3.1, we just 2 days back, we studied this. In the third chapter, having accepted the superiority of bhakti, which is transcendental over Gyan, Nishkama in the previous, manifesting his own Arjuna friendly censures, and then Arjuna, that is true, bhakti is beyond the modes. But since that is obtained only by the mercy of my great pure devotees in unexpected manner, yadrichaya, it is not attained by efforts of an individual. Therefore, I have given a blessing to you. Be transcendental to the gunas, be transcendental to gunas by transcendental bhakti. When this blessing matures, you will attain bhakti by such unexpected mercy of pure. So, unexpected Parikshit Maharaj was sitting and there Sukdev Goswami came, pure devotee, and he got pure bhakti. But now in this situation, you are fit for engaging in activity that is Nishkam Karma Yoga. So that's what, is the whole flow. Okay, now I have another question, who will explain the flow of the entire chapter 3? Yesterday I discussed the flow of the entire chapter 3. Who will explain that? What is the flow in the happening in the chapter entire 3? I'm opening the slide here and showing you. Who will explain it? Who will explain? Vinuta Mataji? Like to try?
Arjun is questioning ki why you're putting me into this ghastly work. I mean,
No. I'm asking the entire flow of chapter 3.
Karma Yoga is better than Gnana Yoga. Roji, no, I'll not try.
Okay. Yeah, you have to. Tirthat Prabhuji.
Dandath Prabhu.
Hmm.
Mm,
You have to understand first Arjuna's question. If Buddhi, according to him, Buddhi is Gyan Yoga. Buddhi also can mean Bhakti Yoga, which is transcendental, but now he's not blessed with that. So Buddhi for him is Shanti. So if Shanti is better, then why you're engaging me in this Karma Yoga, which is Ghor Karma. But Krishna is saying that, Karma Yoga is better than Gyan Yoga. You know. Because ultimately Karma Yoga will lead to Jnana Yoga. That's what he expresses in 10 verses, which we studied yesterday. So my question is, what is the flow happening in the entire third chapter, which we discussed yesterday? Were you there yesterday in the class?
Yes,
Did,
bro.
did you not hear the flow I explained?
Yes, bro.
Then explain us also then. Yeah. So I mentioned yesterday, Arjuna's question is, if Jnana Yoga is better, then why are you telling me to do this? Ghora Karma. So Krishna has spoken about 5 levels. Bhakti Yoga, where there is activity, which will lead to spiritual activities, which will lead to spiritual world. It is beyond the 3 modes attained by the mercy of pure deities. Jnana Yoga, where there is inactivity, because there is no action of the senses, because one is situated in Sthita Pragya, and there is no, the heart, the chit is purified. There is no vasanas or the modes which are impelling. This leads to liberation. Nishkam Karma Yoga, there is activity, also leads to liberation. There is Sakama Karma. There is activity fighting for attaining victory and earth or dying in the battlefield. This is Sakama Karma. This will lead to heaven. Vikarma will lead to hell. So Krishna is saying, what? Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. Perform Nishkama Karma Yoga. This is Krishna's recommendation for Arjuna, which we discussed verses from 3.3 to 3.10. Now, Krishna says that Arjuna, you feel that no, I cannot do Nishkama. I have desires. I am Sakama with desires. So yesterday we started this discussion. If you have Sayagya Prajashishtva from there, if you have Sakam, no problem. Still perform Sakama Karma, but from Sakama Karma, elevate yourself to Nishkama Karma. So 3.10 to 16 is there. And Arjun, if you feel you're on Jnana platform, which he is not, still come down and perform Nishkama Karma Yoga. Don't be inactive. Still as an example, come down. Even if you're Atmarati, Atmatushta, you're just sitting in one place and taking pleasure in the self, and you're doing a retreat within. You don't have to go out to Shimla or Darjeeling to take pleasure seeing external the senses and sense objects. You can go within your heart and take pleasure, Atmarati. Still perform activity, Nishkam Karma Yoga, to set an example. Then he's comparing Karma Kand with Nishkam Karma Yoga in 3.25 to 30. And then how Karma Yoga elevates 3.31 to 35. And in Karma Yoga, the greatest obstacle is lust. So 3.36 to 43 will be dealt in there. So this is how the flow is, that Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga. That means Nishkam Karma Yoga. If you feel you are not qualified for Nishkam, Sakama, but from Sakama, come to Nishkama. If you feel you are on the Jnana platform, come down to Nishkama Karma Yoga. So Krishna is recommending activity, which will ultimately liberation. Then the highest, liberation is in the form of bhakti, which Krishna will bring up in the middle 6 chapters. Is it clear? You have any questions on this? This flow you have to understand. It took us many years to figure this out, and so you have to understand the flow which is happening in the third chapter. And then only you'll understand 5th chapter. You have any questions on this? You can ask now only. Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then what? I didn't follow this 331 to 335. Is it Karma
That you
Kanda
don't
or
worry.
Nishkam Karma Yoga?
You
No,
don't
in
worry
the
about
flow.
it. You don't worry about it now. 3.31 to 35. How Nishkama Karma Yoga gradually elevates. When we come to those verses, you will understand that flow. But at least, from Sakama Karma, you come to Nishkama Karma. Or from Jnana Yoga, you come down to Nishkama Karma Yoga. This you have to understand.
So this Karma Yoga is Nishkam Karma Yoga. That's my only question.
Which Karma
331
Yoga? Yeah, it
in the
is.
slide.
When we say Karma Yoga, it is Nishkama. Please remember.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because, we saw the verses yesterday. You see here, 3 point. Yagyartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhan tadartha karma kaunteya mukta sangha. Mukta sangha means without any attachment, do your work. So this is nishkama. And then what? This is yes to indriyani manasa niyam arabate arjuna karmendriya karma yogam. So karma yoga is there. Asakta sa vishishyate. Asakta means without any attachment to the results. So nishkama. So I yesterday only about out karma yoga. Add a prefix and nishkama karma yoga. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions you have regarding the flow? This flow, you have to become very clear with it. I thought, yesterday after discussing this, we started now with with the second part. Today I'll be completing the second part and the third part. So we saw this. Arjuna, sorry. If you are not qualified even for Karma Yoga here means Nishkam, then practice Karma Kand. So 10 to 16. And we saw this verses, Sa Yagya Praja Shishtva. And you see, Ishta Kama Duk, they have desires. This does indicate they had material desires. So here, very clearly, the duty of a person with an impure heart is to perform Nishkam Karma Yoga, for it is not beneficial for him to abandon his personality. If one does not possess the strength to perform this selfless action, Niskam Karmaga, then even though possessed of selfish desire, he should perform his duty to offer the fruits to Bhagwan. So perform Sakama. That's it. He should not renounce his prescribed karma and perform akarma. So Arjuna, Krishna doesn't recommend inactivity or vikarma. That was what yesterday we discussed. And then we discussed Devan bhavayante tena te deva bhavayantuva parasparam. That's Shreya Param. Shreya Param I mentioned. Ultimately it will lead to the supreme. That's how Prabhupada also translates. We saw that. Then Ishtan bhogani yo devan dasyante yagya bhavita ter dattana pradyabos yo bhongte stena eva saha. So this also we saw. And then we saw Yagishishtasino Santo Mujjante Sarvakilvisha Bunjate Tve Agam Papam Ye Pachant. If he doesn't do Yagya for Vishnu, then he verily eats sin. We saw that. Now we are at this verse. So today our discussion will begin from this verse. Okay. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyatanna sambhava yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhava. All creatures arise from food. Annad bhavanti bhutani. Bhavanti means they manifest. Actually, the human being, how does he manifest? It is basically because of the union of the male and the female, the husband and wife. But the grain, the anna, ultimately turns into semen, and one of the grains which is qualified to take a human form, that particular jiva ultimately is impregnated in the womb, and then because the jiva is there, the combination will give birth to an embryo, and then human birth happens. So anna, annad bhavanti bhutani. Now where does anna come then? Food arises from rain. Parjanyat anya sambhava. So there is King Parjanya, Nanda Maharaj. His father was Parjanya. Parjanya is a specific cloud. There is a specific cloud by the name Parjanya cloud. Parjanya cloud, which causes rain. And, there are many other, clouds which also create rain. But this Parjanya cloud is very, conducive for rain for growing vegetation. If there is a rain like Samvartak, Indra sent Samvartak clouds, and that Samvartak clouds cause devastation in Braj. So that will not lead to, vegetation. So this is a specific cloud called as the Parjanya cloud. So food arises from rain, Parjanyat Anna Sambhava. Now the question is, where does rain come from? Rain arises from sacrifice. Yagyad bhavati parjanyo. So when they do yajna, there is rain. And then where does this yajnas, where is the yajna prescribed? Yajna karma samudbhava. Sacrifice arise from prescribed actions which are given in the Vedas. So let's go to this flow. I hope the flow is clear. Vishwanath Chakratakar. One should perform the yajna because it causes the cyclic movement in the universe. So this whole yajna is meant for the cyclic movement in the universe. And what is that cycle? From food, living entities exist. Food is the cause of the bodies of the living entities, and from food arises the health of the bodies of the living entities with transformation to semen and blood. The cause of food is rain. By the rain, food is produced. The cause of rain is yajna. By people performing yajna, the clouds produce sufficient rains. The cause of yajna is karma, prescribed action. The yajna is produced from the actions of the priest and the patron, that is the yajaman. So this is the whole cycle. And interestingly, you must have heard about, the modern cloud seeding, technology. Why through aeroplanes, they uh, fill the cloud with certain chemicals so that the clouds can shower rain. First of all, it's not cloud seeding technology. This technology is not man invented because there have to be already clouds. And then only, you can spray these chemicals by the aeroplanes and then only rain can fall. They cannot create the clouds. It's impossible. Just see the technology of God that, through the sun, the water evaporates in the form of clouds. A huge water body is just floating in the air. And this cloud, again, because the rain, the water from the ocean, you cannot directly use it. It's salt water, and then it is, in the form of cloud. And this cloud actually showers rain. Now, how is this yajna connected with the clouds? In fact, it is the sun. And the yajna, in the yajna, the fire is Agni Dev. And it is fire is the mouth of Vishnu. We all know that. So by doing this yajna, ultimately it goes to Surya Narayan, actually the Narayan who is residing in Surya Dev. And then through the sun, this whole cyclic movement is there. Now, interestingly, what science has found out in the Rig Veda, these yajnas are given where all this wood is put in the fire, and it has been scientifically proven that the smoke which this yajna produces, the chemical composition of the smoke, and today the modern, the seeds which they, or the smoke which they, spray in the clouds, it is the same. But this is a Vedic technique. The Vedic technique is a very, very subtle technology. The Vedic technique is a subtle technology given, where we, we acknowledge this universe, nature, as God's manifestation. So this is a natural way of extracting all our needs, by satisfying God through yajna. But the modern, approach is to see this nature or the world with the mentality to exploit and artificially try to do this. But we are simply what getting more entangled in material nature and the complexities and the reactions, complex reactions. But the Vedic technique is a very subtle technology. So the smoke also ultimately goes to the clouds and it causes rains. So this is how, the whole science works. Now you might say, Array, today in this age, especially in Kali Yuga now, hardly anyone is doing yajnas. So now also we're getting rains. Firstly, two things are there. One thing is that the Sankirtan Yajna is being happening of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Of course, this is directly pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead and under whom the demigods are. Secondly, there are still people who are performing these yajnas in the holy places. That is why still, you know, There is, but you know that last year there was extreme rain and the rainy season was quite for long. And sometimes the first rain comes and it causes devastation and it causes a lot of damage to the crops. So those rains are not favorable rains. It's only the Parjanya clouds which are very favorable for the Anna, producing Anna. Okay. Now, the previous verse spoke about, Yagya Karma Samudbhavam. Yagya is prescribed action. Now, where are the prescribed actions given? That is given in the next verse. Karma Brahmudbhavam Vidhi Brahmakshara Samudbhavam Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yagye Pratishtitam. Action, karma, prescribed actions arise from the Vedas. What action I should do? You refer to the Vedas. Arjuna, what is your adhikar? Your adhikar is Kshatriya Dharma, Varnashram Dharma, which is given in the Vedas. Karma, Brahma Samudbhavam Vidhi. And where the Vedas where come from? Brahma. Brahma here refers to, Vedas. Brahma can also refer to the absolute truth. So that's why different acharyas take different meanings. Madhvacharya takes a different meaning, Ramanacharya takes a different meaning, Vishwanath Thakur takes a different meaning. But ultimately it has, it comes down to the same thing. Different acharyas have different approach. So Brahma can refer to the absolute truth, Brahma can refer to Vedas. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kave. So there Brahma means Vedas and Adi Kavi is Brahma. So we have to have that clear understanding. I'm just showing you the verse. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Tene Brahma. So Tene, you can see here. Tene Brahma. Brahma Prabhava, Vedic knowledge. Adi Kavi is original created being, that is Brahma. So Brahma is Veda. Brahma also can refer to Brahma, Brahmanaya. Brahma is different and Brahma is different. Brahma is Lord Brahma, the second engineer of this universe. So Brahma is here, Vedas. Some acharyas take it as absolute truth. And so Akshara is referring to whom? Brahman. Brahman is the absolute truth. Akshara, Brahma, Akshara Samudbhavam. So the absolute truth is also addressed as Brahman. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahman. Therefore, this all pervading Brahman. So now, what is Brahma here standing for? Who will answer this? If you have heard attentively, you will answer. What does this Brahma refers to? Who will answer this? Keshav Nath Prasad Prabhuji. I have not heard you from long time. Are you there? Hare Krishna. Are you with us? Parampara Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Here, Sarvagatam is like this Brahman,
No.
Sarvagatam Brahma is.
Please try to understand my question. We have to carefully hear, especially when we are attending online class. So here see, Brahma can refer to Vedas or the absolute truth, who's addressed as sometimes Brahman. Depends on the context. Okay. Akshara can refer to Brahman. That is the absolute truth also. It can refer to also the liberated souls who are also Brahman. So here it is referring, Aksharam is referring to the absolute truth. Now, in this verse, Karma Brahmudvamam, here Brahma is referring to what? Tell me, Parampara Prabhu.
Vedas.
Vedas. And now in the third line, Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma is referring to what?
This is this Brahma Jyoti or absolute truth because it is
Yeah,
Sarvagatam.
absolute truth. You tell absolute truth because when you say Brahman, Brahman, there can be Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagavan also. Absolute truth is all three, right? That is the
Yes.
definition of absolute truth. Yes. Vinita Mataji, he has answered, so I'll ask you again. So Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. Therefore, this all-pervading Brahman, Tasmat Sarvagata Brahma, is eternally situated in sacrifice. Nitye Nityam Yagye Pratishtitam. Okay, now this term Sarvagata Brahman requires clarification. So, this Sarvagatam Brahman can refer to Brahma Jyoti, the all-pervading Brahman. It can refer to the Paramatma, who is residing in everyone's heart. It can refer as his energies. His energy is spread, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina, his Bhairanga Shakti, Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu Kham Manor Buddhi Revacha Ahankar Iti Amme Bhinna Prakriti, or as his representatives, the host of demigods and all the Brahmanas, like that. So everything, it can have any of these meanings, Sarvagatam Brahman. Now I give you an example just to understand, you know, the the absolute truth, absolute truth is all pervading. Just like water is all pervading in the sky, all pervading here, you can see. But can you access that water? Can you access that water? You can access it if you have a small solar panel and a filter by which, the water, which is in the form of air vapor, can be extracted and then through some device, and then you can get the water. Similarly, the absolute truth is all pervading in this universe, but he is accessed through the what? Yagya. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma. Nitya yagya pratishtita. So that is the meaning. Okay. The cause of this action is the Veda, Brahma. Brahma karma udvavam vidhi. Brahma karma udvavam, karma brahma udvavam vidhi. Sorry. Karma brahma udvavam vidhi. The cause of action is the Veda, Brahma here. Veda is Brahma. The actions related to the yagya arise from hearing the statements of the rules enunciated in Vedas. So actions, of yagya, you should do this yagya, you should do the Agnihotra yagya every day. For the Brahmanas, for the Kshatriyas, it will be different. So you have to hear the rules based on the Varnans. The cause of the Vedas is Brahman, Aksharam. That is the absolute truth. As the Vedas arise from the Lord. So here, Aksharam is the absolute truth. So where is the Praman? The Shruti says, Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishvasitam Etad Rig Ved Yajur Veda Sam Veda Tangirisha. The Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharvedas. Rig, Vedo, Yajur Veda, Sama Vedo, Atha. Atha means, the Atharva Veda are the breathing of the Supreme Lord. Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nisvasita. Nisvasita means it's coming from the breathing of the Lord. So the Vedas come from the absolute truth, from his breathing. Therefore, the all-pervading Sarvagata Lord is present in the yagya. Just like, I told you this example, water is all-pervading in the atmosphere, but you cannot extract it. You need a particular kind of device by which you can, extract it, right? So then you can drink that water. So similarly, that absolute truth who is all-pervading, Nitya Yagya Pratishtita. So we have to have faith that Yagya is, directly Vishnu's mouth. And in fact, in the Bhagavatam, there are many instances where Yagyas were performed and the Supreme Lord is to directly come. In Prithu Maharaj Yagya, he came, And after the Swaragloka, there is the Janaloka, Maharloka, and Tapaloka. In the Maharloka, Bhrigu Muni and all the rishis, they stay there. And they are always performing yagyas, and Vishnu directly comes in that yagya. And there are all rishis everywhere performing yagyas, and everywhere you can see Vishnu manifesting there. So this is mentioned in the Brihad Bhagavatamrit. This means that by performance of the yagya, one attains the Lord. Though by cause and effect, from food to the Lord, many items have been mentioned. Among them all, the yagya is mentioned by the scriptures as a necessary performance for the human being. This process is mentioned in the Smriti as well. In the Smriti also it said, Agno Pratastahuti Samyag Adityam upastishtate. Adityavaj jayate vrishtir. Vrishtir annam tata praja. The offering of the fire goes to the sun. Agno. Adityam. It goes to Aditya. From the sun arise rain. So I mentioned this. Adityavaj jayate vrishti. Food and the bodies of the living entities. Annam tata praja. Karma originated from Brahma. Brahma means the syllables of the Vedas. Bhaktinath Thakur. He is writing a very similar commentary. Brahma he is explaining as the Vedas. Know that such duties are prescribed in the Vedas and that the Vedas originate from Bhagwan Achyut himself. So he is making it here very clear. Aksharam is Bhagwan Achyut, he is saying. Those possessing the qualification to perform a yajna are duty bound to do so, for yajna is the very cause of the functioning of the universe. Thus, the all-pervading absolute truth is always situated in the performance of yajna. This implies yajna can free one from sin and lead to the attainment of supreme. Okay. Now, Krishna explains that if you don't follow this cycle, then what will happen? Evam pravartitam chakram nano vartayahiha aghayorindriyaramo mogam partha sajivati. He who does not follow yah na anuvartayati, the movements of this cycle, evam pravritam chakram. So I will show the cycle also. And instead leads a life of sin. Aga ayu. Ayu means life, aga means sin. So his whole life is a life of sin. Enjoying his senses. Indriya Rama. Have you heard about any other term like that? Like Indriya Rama? Any other term? What are the Gyanis addressed as? Anyone? What are the Gyanis addressed? Navneet Mataji? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Atmaram.
Atmaram. So the Gyanis are addressed as Atmaram. And they take pleasure in Atma, that is in the self, spiritual pleasure. And Indriya Ram. So Indriya Ram has become Indriya Ramo. Indriya Rama it is. So Indriya Ram means pleasure in senses. So if you don't follow this, if you have desires also, Arjuna, perform yajna for the pleasure of Vishnu so that your material desires are fulfilled. But if you don't follow the cycle of yajna, then what? Mogam aghayu, you lead a life of sin. And sir, moham jivati, your life is in vain. Okay, Vishwanath Chakravarti. This verse speaks of the sin involved in not performing the sacrifice. He who does not partake in the institute cycle, moving from beginning to end, that is from yajna to rain. From yajna, rain comes. From rain, food. From food to nourishment of the men. And from men to performance of yajna. And from yajna to rain. He who does not institute the cycle of performance of yajna leads a life full of sin. So this is a whole cycle. Note, the cycle is as follows. Supreme Lord, he is addressed as Akshara or Brahma also you can say. Vedas, Supreme Lord gives Vedas, Brahma, and Vedas prescribe action and sacrifices yajna. From yajna is rain, food, production of living entities. Annad Bhavanti Pujana. Then the new living entities then study the Vedas arising from the Lord, perform action and sacrifice with the Lord present within. Again. Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahman Nitya Yajna Pratishtha. At the same time as fulfilling one's material needs by sacrifice, one can attain the Lord. You can fulfill your material desires also and you can attain the Lord also. So that's why even if you think you are not qualified for Nishkam Karma Yoga, you're qualified for Sakama Karma, perform Sarkama Karma and then gradually come to Nishkam Karma Yoga. Who will not sink to hell? That's what he says. Now here is the cycle. So from Krishna, ultimately, there is, the Vedas. The Vedas are coming from Krishna, Akshara. you know. And from the Vedas, karma comes. And karma is yagya. And there is Parjanya cloud, Anna, you know. And then living entities. And the all-pervading Brahman, Akshara, is ultimately in the yagya. Nitya yagya process. This is a cycle. The same thing I've just drawn in the cycle form. This Supreme Lord Vedas, you know, action, sacrifice, like that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. O Partha, those who are qualified to engage in action with the desire for fruits, kamya karma, sakama karma, but who do not perform sacrifice to perpetuate the cycle of the universe, become servant of their senses, Indriya Rama, and engage in sinful life. Aga ayu. Thus they live in vain. Mogam Partha Jivati. So very simple. Okay. So here ends now this section 10 to 16. If you're not qualified for Nishkam Karma Yoga and you think you're qualified for Sakama Karma, perform Sarkama Karma Yoga and ultimately elevate yourself to Nishkam Karma Yoga. That's what is recommendation. Now we'll go to the next section. Now you have any questions on this section up till now, you can raise your hands. Any questions, any clarifications? Any questions, any clarifications? Keshav Nath Prasad Prabhuji. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Keshav Nath Prabhuji. What's your question?
Yeah, Prabhuji, my question is, for example, it is said that uh, the rain is because of the sacrifices that are performed. Now, if you see the other religions also, right? So, in their sense, they also chant the name of the Lord. So, that also
Who?
will be considered as a sacrifice. And because
Pardon,
that
what did you
also,
say?
uh, there, the rain is caused because of the sacrifices, right? That
Correct.
we do. And
Correct.
if you see the other religions, they also chant the name of the Lord in their own sense, right?
Uh,
So that also will be uh, that will also be a cause of the rain, or
yes,
is it like
yes.
the Vedic uh, only?
It's see, any yagya means, you know, we have a very vague understanding of yagya. We literally means yagya means yagya kunda, you know. But yesterday I gave that broad understanding of the term yagya. You know, children sacrifice their playing propensities and study so that they can make a career. They sacrifice. And, you know, we sacrifice our ingredients, you know, to do yagyas for achieving heaven. This is sakama karma. And the highest level is to sacrifice the interest of the senses and work for Krishna's interest. That is Anya Bilashada, that is Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. So anything sacrifice, you know, chanting of the mantras, it's all, you know, you're sacrificing the interest of the senses and doing a higher thing, you know. So all this will be included in that sense. And definitely also the specific yagyas given in the Vedas, you know, which is recommended, you know, that is the actual yagya, which is done, the Havana, the, you know, what is that, Agnihotra yagya, whatever, you know, whichever is given, you know. Is it clear? Is it clear, Keshwanath Prasad Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Somebody else also had raised their hand. Anyone else had any questions? Chakraram Prabhuji, yes. We are not hearing from you anything. Is your audio working?
And the word Akshara, what does Akshara word means?
Akshara, you know, I mentioned Akshara refers to the absolute truth. Shara means those who are fallible. That means the jivas. Akshara means those who are infallible. So there are two
Okay, right,
types, you
right,
know. This will come
right.
in the 15th chapter, you know.
I could recollect now.
You could recollect,
Sharab
or
is
should I show you
fallible.
the verse? Should I show you the verse, or you're able to recollect?
I could understand, but means if you want to do it, go ahead. I would understand fallible and infallible.
The fallible and infallible. Now,
Yes.
the liberated souls are infallible, but the Lord is also infallible, but still he is different from the liberated souls. Because he is what? He is the creator of this universe, and that's what he'll explain in the 15th chapter. So when we go there, we will go into more detail. So there's a
Fair
gradual
enough.
revelation happening. Okay, any other questions regarding this section which we discussed? Now we'll go to the next section. Okay, so now who will tell me what is going to come up now from 17 to 24? I have already given the overview. Who will tell me now? From 17 to 24. Vinita Mataji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Uh,
Is it Nishkam Karma Yoga?
Mataji, see, already Krishna, when Arjuna asked the question, if buddhi is better than karma, Gora karma, then why are you engaging in Gora karma?
Mm.
Krishna mentioned that, that there are two levels, Dvida Nishta, Jnana Yogena Sankyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. Those who have adhikar for karma, they do karma. Karma means Nishkam Karma Yoga. And those by Nishkama Karma Yoga have purified their heart, purified the Antakaran, they are Sthita Pragya, they are qualified for Sankhya, study of Sankhya analysis. So that he has convinced him from 1 to 10. And that's why he told Niyata Karo Karmatvam Karma Jaya Karma Sharira for maintenance of body. Yastu Indriyani Manasa Niyama Arabate Arjuna Karma Yogam Asaktam Sa Vishishyate. Do Nishkam Karma Yoga. So he has already mentioned Karma Yoga. Nishkam Karma Yoga is better than Jnana Yoga, I said. And if you're not qualified, you think for Nishkama Karma Yoga, because he has already instructed you, if you're qualified for, Sakama Karma, practice Sakama Karma and then come to Nishkama Karma Yoga, ultimately. That's all. Okay, who will answer? Let's see. Yeah. This flow, you have to get it at the end, by the end of this chapter. Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Now Krishna will tell Arjun that even if Arjun thinks he's qualified for Gyan Yoga, still he should come at the level of Nishkam Karma Yoga and practice it to set an example to society.
Yes, excellent. Very good. That is what he is going to speak now. Arjuna, if you are qualified for Gyan Yoga, still practice Nishkama Karma Yoga to set example. It's here only, and I've explained now, a few minutes back, I have explained this whole chart, Where is it? Yeah. Yeah, here I've explained it. So repeatedly you have to hear it and try to understand. I know it takes a lot of time. You need to deliberate on it and then it will become slowly clear. Okay. So let's hear now. Who is a person who is situated in Gyan Yoga? Shanti was mentioned, So Shanti Madhigachati, Jnana. Yastu atmaratirev syat atmatriptasya manava atmaneva atmaneva cha santushta tasya karyam na vidyate. The human manava who is attracted to the atma. Yatu atmaratireva syat. He is attracted inwards, satisfied in the atma, atma trupta, and completely satisfied with atma alone. Atmaneva cha santushta has nothing to do in regard in fulfilling desires. Tasya karyam na vidyate. He need not perform any actions. You know. Now please hear this purport and try to understand this. Get it very clear. It has now been stated that if you cannot be without desires, you can perform actions with desires. Now, hear my question. It has now been stated that if you cannot be without desires, that means you have desires. Perform actions with desires. Now, where has Krishna spoken of all this? First of all, what is this called as? Tell us first. Who will answer this? Every statement has to be clearly understood. Who will answer this? Who will answer this? Navneet Kalra Mataji. I'll ask others, Tirthpad Prabhuji, are you there?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ah. Performing actions with desire is called what? Prabhu, are you there with me?
Yes, Prabhu. Sakam Karma.
Simple thing I'm asking. There's
Yes,
no need to sakama karma. Or it is called as what? Karma kanda. So
Karma
where
Kanda.
Krishna is instructed that even if you have sakam karma, perform actions according to the Vedas, where is Krishna is instructed?
Karmanye vedikaraste. Ma phalesu kadachana.
Prabhuji, karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana, that is. That is
Ma
nishkama karma
karma.
yoga.
Okay.
Arjuna, if you have desire, still perform actions according to Vedas and come to the platform of Nishkam Karma Yoga, where that instruction he has given. I'll have to go and take sannyas now. Vinita Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji, is it 2.31?
No, Mataji, we are in the third chapter. Why are you going to second chapter?
Acha, okay. Sorry, Prabhuji. Good stuff.
My goodness. I just now have spoken this. Yes, Vinita Mataji.
3.10 to 16.
Yes. Arjuna, if you are with material desires, still perform. With material desires, worship me. Yagya. And ultimately come to, from Sakam Karma, you will elevate to Nishkam Karma Yoga. That is a gradual flow, na? We have seen that 2.31 to 37 is, Atma Gyan, first level, fight for heaven. Second level, Atma Gyan for liberation. That is Nishkam Karma Yoga. Now, hear this. But he who reaches the stage of Gyan, because of purity of heart, never performs action out of desire. If he has reached the stage of Gyan, he never performs actions out of desire. Why does he not perform actions out of desire? I'm just putting a, question so that you can deeply think about this statement. Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Huh?
If he already attained the stage of Gyan, he's purified, his Antagaran is purified, so he's not
Yes, his
performing
heart is
activity.
purified, he has no desire. So he doesn't perform any actions out of desire. That is expressed in two verses. So these two verses are there. Because he is enjoying in the self, is blissful by realization of the bliss of Atma, Atma Rati. He does not engage at all in the pleasure of the material objects. Being engaged only in the Atma, Atmaneva. He does not perform any actions related to the external objects. Tasya karyam na vidyate. This seems to, please try to understand, this seems to show that, actually he is, he doesn't perform, actually any activity because he's inactive in one sense. Tasya karyam na vidyate. But, Krishna reverses that in the next verse. Of course, we'll see what Bhaktivinoda Thakur has to say. Jiva is currently within the cycle of karma, perform action, thinking it is to be their duty. But those who are competent in understanding the difference between matter and soul derive pleasure from within, internally, versus externally derive happiness. They delight in the self, remaining contented and fully self-satisfied. They never perform their prescribed duties out of a sense of duty. Rather, their actions are performed simply to maintain the material body while they search for peace in the form of cessation of this wheel of karma. That is, they want to become free from the liberation. Their goal is liberation. So a Kshatriya, he thinks, his consciousness, this is my duty, this is my duty, I have to do this duty. But, one who is Atmarati, he doesn't feel that because he is not connected to the Swabhav of the body. He is in the bliss of Atma. So that's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Even though it appears as if they perform all types of karma, they never perform kamya or nitya karma. Therefore, their actions cannot be classified as karma because they are liberated. Somebody who's liberated, like, the example come of Janak Maharaj. Janak Maharaj is a pure devotee. He's gunatita. He's practicing nirguna bhakti. But he comes down and as a king, he is doing his Kshatriya dharma. Is not that, his swabhava is of Kshatriya and that is pushing him to do his Kshatriya dharma, that he has got that nature. No, he is just doing it, you know, because it is Lord's desire. Now, Dhruva Maharaj, when he had the darshan of the Lord, he became purified in his antakaran heart and he did not want anything because he was experiencing the bliss of the Lord. But the Lord told him, you take the kingship and rule for 36,000 years. So just to follow the order of the Lord, he is doing now. Not that he is bound by that Kshatriya spirit to do that. Rather, their actions are within the jurisdiction of either Gyan or Bhakti. So their actions are within the jurisdiction of Gyan or Bhakti. It will become more and more clear if you are not able to, understand what I am trying to say now. Okay. Let's go to the next verse. Naivatasya krite nartho na krite neha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid artha vipashraya. He does not gain na eva artha by performance of action. Tasya kritena. Actually, why somebody performs action? Because he wants some gain. That will be sakama karma. Or somebody who is duty bound in a sense of duty, but without desiring, any fruit, but the desire of liberation. That is also called as desirelessness from the karma, dharma, artha, kama, moksha point of view. Okay. So he does not gain by performance of action, tasya kritena, nor lose by not performing action. Na akritena iha kashana. Now please understand the situation of a jnani who is Sthita Pragya. He has come to this jnana platform. Now, because his antakaran is pure, he is not dictated by the swabhava of the subtle body. Now, somebody who is on the Nishkama Karma Yoga platform, who has started Nishkama Karma Yoga 2.47, now, if he doesn't perform his actions, based on his Kshatriya Dharma or Brahmana Dharma, what will happen? Anyone can tell? Anyone else also? Yes, Navneet Kalra Mataji.
His purification of heart won't be possible.
His purification. And he's having adhikar for Nishkama Karma Yoga. And he doesn't do non-performance of, what he's having adhikar, he doesn't do that. What will happen then? Navneet Kalra Mataji. What will happen?
Prabhuji, he will incur sin.
Sin. He will incur sin. And actually also, if he doesn't perform actions according to Vedas, there is no purification. And the gunas will push him to do actions, and again it will lead to sin. Krishna spoke about it in 3.5. Nahi kashit kshanamapi jatu tishtat karmakrit karyate hi avasha karma sarve prakritir jayan guner. Now, by Nishkama Karma Yoga, he has come to the stage of Jnana, Sita Pragya. His Antakaran has purified. Now, if he doesn't perform his duty, non-performance, what will happen? Navneet Kala Mataji.
Nothing will happen.
Because he has transcended
the
modes. And if he performs also, what happens? Tell me, Mataji.
He will set an example for the society.
Yeah, nothing happens for him. He just sets an example. So that's what this verse is mentioning. Try to understand this. Naiva tasya kritenartho na kriteneha kasyana na chasya sarvabhuteshu kasyid artha vipashaya. He does not gain na eva artha by performance of action. Tasya kritena, nor lose by not performing action. Na akritena ye kasyan. For him, asya, nothing in this world, na kasyid sarvabhuteshu is worthy of pursuing for fulfilling his desires. Artha vipashaya. Artha vipashaya. Now let's see the verse explanation. By performance of action, there is no accrual of desired result. And by not performing the action, there is no loss. Because nothing in the whole universe from Brahma down to an inanimate object is a worthy object of shelter for fulfilling his goals. The word Vipasha is used similarly in the Puranas as follows. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhaktim Udvahatam Vrinam Jnana Vairagya Viryanam Neha Kaschid Vipashaya. Now what is Vipashaya? He gives evidence. Persons having bhakti for Vasudeva, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhaktim Udvahatam Vrinam, endowed with Jnana and Vairagya, Jnana Vairagya Viryanam, do not take shelter elsewhere. Nahi Kaschid Vipashaya. They don't take shelter anywhere. Now, second Praman. Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abhira Shumba Yavana Kashadaya Ye Anne Cha Papa Yadapashaya Shuddhanti Tasme Prabha Vishnave Nama. I offer respect to the Lord of inconceivable power. Tasme Prabha Vishnave Nama. The Kiratas, Hunas, Andhras, Pulindas, Pulkashas, Abhiras, Shumbas, Yavanas, Kashayas, and others of low birth, and those sinful by action, ye annecha papaya, take shelter of the devotees who take shelter of the powerful Lord. Yad apashraya ashraya, and become purified of their prarabdha karma. Shuddhanti. So here apashraya ashraya has come. Sargostata visargascha vritti rakshasantarani cha Vamsho Vamshanucharitam Samstha Hetur Apashaya. O Brahmana, authorities on the matter understand a Purana to contain of 10 characteristic topics. The creation of the universe, the subsequent creation of the worlds and beings, the maintenance of all living beings, their sustenance, the rules of various manus, the dynasties of great kings, the activities of such kings, annihilation, motivation, and supreme shelter. Supreme shelter is Apashaya. From these statements, it is seen that the addition of upper to ashraya has the meaning of perfect shelter. So they have taken shelter, so they don't take shelter of anything in this material world, right from the Satyaloka to the lower planets. Bhaktivinoda Thakur. A person who is blissful exclusively within the self is not obliged to perform his prescribed duties, nor does he have the desire to enjoy the results. Even by non-performance of his duties, there is no question of either piety or sin. Because he is on the transcendental platform, there is no question of papa and punya. He does not have the selfish desires found in all other living entities and life forms throughout the universe. Being satisfied within himself, he has no desire to engage in pious or sinful actions. Naturally, for him, regardless of whatever he does or does not do, all is auspicious. All is auspicious. And now he is concluding by this verse, Tasmad. Tasmad means, he's concluding a discussion. Tasmad asakta satatam karyam karma samachara asapto hi acharan karma param apnoti purushaha. Therefore, always perform a prescribed actions. So Arjuna, even if you're this jnani who's atmarati, atmatushta, but still perform nishkam karma yoga. Come down and perform nishkam. Always perform a prescribed action. Satatam karyam karma samachara, without attachment. Asakta. Asakta means, again, it is nishkam karmeva. Performing action without attachment. Asakto hi acharan karma. A person attains liberation. Param apnoti purusha. Now, I just want to show you how Prabhupada is so merciful and compassionate that, in his Bhaktivedanta purports, actually within the flow of the Gita, Param is liberation. But Prabhupada directly indicates bhakti. And you can see in Prabhupada's translation, Parama, he says the supreme. One attains the supreme. So within the flow of the Gita, it is referring to what? Oh, sorry. And this is the second chapter. Within the flow attains liberation because Nishkama Karma Yoga leads to liberation. So we are discussing the gradual flow within the subtleties of the Gita, how it is happening. Prabhupada, everything, Karma Yoga also, he is directly explaining the process of Bhakti Yoga. So that's why sometimes to understand the flow which is happening in the Gita is not so easy. Therefore, since you do not have qualification for rising to the platform of Jnana and performing actions with desires is not suitable for you. So you are not on the Gyan platform and you should not do Sakama Karma. Since you have spiritual intelligence, you should perform action without desire. You should perform Nishkam Karma Yoga. That is explained in this verse. Therefore, you should perform obligatory prescribed actions without attachment. By doing this, you will attain liberation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, always perform your prescribed duties while remaining unattached to the results because whatever activities the living entity performs with a mood of detachment yields liberation. Liberation is nothing other than pure devotion, the most ripened stage of work. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is directly giving a bhakti understanding here, you can see. Liberation is what? Mukti hitva anyata rupam swarupena vyavasthita. Jivera swarupa hai Krishnera nityadas. So he is giving that highest understanding of liberation, here. Okay, we'll continue our discussion again from 3.20. Now, he gives the examples of how Janak, who are liberated, yet they are performing Nishkam Karma Yoga. And then he will give about himself in 2-3 verses. So that will end the discussion on this section, which we will take up tomorrow. So any questions, any clarifications up till now? Yes, Navneet Kalramataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Just as the basic level, working without detachment would encourage us to be free of raga and dvesha.
In the context of bhakti, you are saying?
Like even if we're performing our regular work, like our karma we're performing, other than bhakti karma, like other than kirtan and whatever chanting we're doing.
You're speaking about your actions
Like
which
that.
are maintenance for the body, like your work and your all
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. So that doing it without detachment would take you to a level of going at like going ahead of raga and dvesha. That is the purpose for
Basically,
evolvement.
yeah, even there you have to attain a kind of equanimity. Sometimes you are attached to a particular work because that's your nature. And your nature is dictating. But as you advance in bhakti, you do that also just as a duty. At a higher level, you do it so that it pleases the Lord. You get the point?
Yeah.
Did you get it?
Yeah, and yeah. Like there are pure bhakti activities during the day that you do for that. I don't have a question, but other non
No. Please
bhakti
understand
things
that
have
they
you
are not pure bhakti activities. Pure bhakti activities means you are all the time engaged 24 hours in only hearing, chanting, and remembering. That is only Shuddha Bhakti.
no, which
Only
have
when
like a
you
bhakti. Yeah, no, the thing is
only
some activities are bhakti oriented.
but that is Mishra. It is not
Yeah,
mixed because the Swabhav is also there. While doing the bhakti, the
yeah,
consciousness flows
yeah,
here and there, right?
yeah.
So what we have to do is we have to do our Swabhava activities in a way that we can dovetail them to Krishna, offer them to more Krishna, so that we can grow in bhakti. And while doing bhakti activities, we should also prepare our consciousness that we can do it with full consciousness. That's it, slowly, slowly. And that's how we advance. And when our Antakaran is purified, when all the doubts are dispelled by understanding the Bhagavad Gita, and our faith is deep in bhakti, then we have transcended the modes, then our Nirguna Bhakti starts. We have to remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Clear?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Any other questions, clarifications? Anyone else has? Okay. So I hope you are able to understand now the flow. Thank you very much. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai.